Hi everyone. I don't know if you guys refresh the page, but we're not practicing today. I can't. I think technically I could play, but I was thinking about how productive the session was actually going to be, and it is not going to be productive at all. And it's because I'm on my period. I normally, like, by the third-ish day, usually I can more or less go back to normal life, but this particular period um, has been, I would say that the pain is not as bad as it has been before, but it is lingering. And I just am like, yeah, no wonder I was swollen last week. I tend to swell up the week before my period. So yeah, we're not practicing today, guys, but I wanted to show up anyway and chat with you guys. And I guess just document the very kind of like real life situation here, which is that sometimes you plan to practice and your body says no. Like, I was thinking about, like, okay, if I'm doing like fluidity things, but my lower back is in like kind of it's in sort of like a constant um, low achy hum, and I'm just like, I can't reliably practice support that way. Like, this is going to give me absolutely no information about how I should feel when I am doing good breath support. So I was like, you know what, guys, we're just not going to practice. um, I hope it is not too um, you know what's the word, disappointing for you guys. But yeah, here's me. We're having cold brew. That's what was on the the second camera there. But how are you guys doing? That's me. Oh my God. I was just like, am I really going to practice? Oy. But hello, Nicholas. Hello, Duck. Hello, Deanna. I hope you guys are doing well. Um, but yeah, I am definitely, I'm feeling it right now. I'm really feeling it right now. Okay, I'm just going to make sure everything is looking okay. Is this going well? Yeah, it is going well. Okay, perfect. So, yeah. Yeah, hard to concentrate on a task when half your body is in a constant spasm. Yeah, like I would say that the spasming was more in the last 2 days, but today is just sort of this. It's as if my lower back is just um, in a constant low grind, if that makes sense. Like it's like it's consistently flexed and it cannot unflex. And I'm just like, this gives me no like it's going to be a waste of time and a waste of breath to try and figure out how I'm playing today. And I can also feel like I just like I don't know how to explain it, but like it's like I can feel that my fingers are just unsteady. So I'm like, technique work is going to go out the window too. So breath work is out the window, technique work is out the window. I'm like, why am I trying to like just torture myself into practicing? Like, you know, that is to say, a good practice session does kind of feel like low key, masochistic in nature. But, that's when you have full like control over your body. Right now, that ain't happening. So, I did want to get some work done this morning, but I am just, yeah, I think I do have to take another easy day. I'll see if this afternoon I have the capacity to get some work done. But yeah, John was also basically trying to convince me to at least take this morning off. And so I did. I watched videos of people trying out period pain simulators, period cramp simulators. That did make me feel better because I was like, okay, like, I don't know, like, I think hearing other women describing their symptoms also made me kind of be like, oh, okay, like, I probably shouldn't undercut my own level of pain, if that makes sense. Like, I should not play it down, because I have done that for a practice session before where I showed up and I practiced and I didn't tell you guys that I was actually, it's really hard to describe because this isn't exactly pain, but it definitely is like, it feels like I'm not in full control of my body and it's just very slightly flexing and I can't unflex. So yeah. Validate myself. Yeah, exactly. Like, because I think I personally haven't heard of very many people describing what it's like to try and keep playing the flute or any musical instrument for that matter while you are in this kind of pain. Um, yeah, it's because right now, I'm not having any of that like stabbing pain and I'm not having any of that like the crazy grind, the kind where you feel like someone's reached inside of you and is like kneading you with like spiked knuckles, Like it's not that, but it's just this constant like it's like my back is just constantly like this and I can't unflex it. And so it's causing me a lot of kind of like discomfort, if that makes sense. But not a lot of people, I personally haven't seen a lot of content of musicians talking about what it's like to like keep going to rehearsals and stuff like that when you're in this kind of pain. I definitely have had those experiences before, where like I had that insane grinding pain um, while I was sitting in like a 3 or 4 hour rehearsal. So I had to sit there with my arm behind my back like this to try and sort of like knead myself from the outside while trying to count measures of rests before my part comes in. And then when you do actually come in, it's like you feel like you can only take in half the air that you normally do. You feel like you can only exhale half the amount that you normally do. It's really hard to concentrate on which notes you're playing and what the rhythm is and the articulation. It's just really, really bad. So, yeah, I just realized I don't think I've ever really like fully talked about that either. Like I have shown up on camera and been like, hey guys, today is going to be a lower key day because like I'm on my period. I have done that before, but I feel like I've never actually come right out and been like, it sucks. I've always been downplaying it. And I'm like, you know what? Like these videos I was watching this morning as I, took the morning easy, I was like, yeah, no, like actually this hell sucks. So, oh my God. Yeah, Deanna, you get it. Well, of course you get it. You're, but yeah, it feels like you're in a shiver that won't stop. That's exactly what it feels like right now. Like my hands right now, and like, it's not like I had a ton of caffeine or something like that. I'm literally drinking like cold brew right now, but like this morning I actually had very little coffee, and I'm just exactly like you're saying. It's like in a shiver that won't stop, and I'm just like, I can't be productive like this. Like I can't, um, sit down and be like, okay, today I am going to like figure this out about my breathing, like no, like not when you're in this state of like you can't unflex. Like it's just, oh, it's quite terrible. Um yeah, yeah. Hey Michael, how are you? Yeah, I didn't wear earplugs in the Passion Flute live stream because it didn't actually go that high. It's not that high. Yeah, that's usually your 24/7. I'm so sorry, Deanna. God, this it sucks. It royally sucks. Like I see the weirdest part about this is that I'm not in any sort of stabbing pain. I'm not in any like pain that someone would, I think, normally think of as pain when you tell them you're in pain. It's not that. It's more of this constant hum that you can't turn off. And so like you just know that if you're going to do anything physical that like it's not reliable. Like it's not what you normally are on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Like, and I used to have this pride of like, you know how they tell you, oh, the show must go on, and then like there's this kind of like very toxic pride that comes with that, which is like, oh yeah, I'm in this much pain, or like, I feel like I can only concentrate at about like 60% that I normally do, and I'm still going to show up and do this, but it's just kind of like I finally got to kind of look at my practice streams from like a practical view today, and I was like, no, Joe, you're literally just showing up for yourself to practice. There's no reason for me to like push through when I can feel that like I'm not going to yield good results anyway, Might as well talk about it. Yeah, you gave up pushing through it. Exactly. Like I think that's the point that I got to today. I was just like, I give up. I give up pushing through this. Now, here's just to kind of like put it out there, not every period's the same. So I have some periods where I actually can fully function throughout the entire thing. So like sometimes I don't even need to take a painkiller. Like I can actually just straight up function. Sometimes it's only the first 12 hours are the worst, and then I'm like fine for the rest of it. It's just kind of this annoying thing that I have to deal with, but it's not, there's no pain and there's none of this kind of like weird shivery grindy thing that I'm feeling right now. But every now and then, I will get a really bad one, and this time I think is a pretty bad one. Because I thought that it wasn't that bad because I was like, okay, this isn't like pain level wise. This isn't as bad as I've had in the past, but this is the longest it's lingered. I've never had it linger straight up into the third day. Like this is crazy to me. Like normally the pain is like 2 days, I want to say. For a long time, it was only the first 12 hours or 12 to 24 hours, and that's it. Like by the second day, I'm like, I'm free to just do whatever I want and just pretty much have a normal life, except that I have to deal with the hygienic part of things. But yeah, this time is bad in a weird way, like different than normal, which is the lingering aspect of it, which, yeah, I don't know if people know this, but your period changes over time. You get different symptoms as you grow older. So that can really kind of like throw you for a loop because it's like you're not expecting it because it's not how you normally function. So yeah, symptoms are changing and they're kind of taking me for a loop right now. Like, yeah, this constant shivering, grinding feel is not one that I'm used to, and it's definitely has thrown me for a loop today. I just took this morning off. I don't know if maybe I'll try to get some work done after this. But yeah, I'm not even treating this as work. Like, this is just me coming here just being like, guys, this sucks. Michael, you ordered a flute rack? That's so fun. Just make sure that you do keep your flutes still like clean and stuff. But that's really nice. That's really, really nice. Okay. Seeing what Nicholas is putting on here. On a brighter note, it's September, which means Harry Potter season. Is this when people do their Harry Potter, what's the word? Marathon? But also, yeah, beginning of the year is very much Harry Potter season, eh? Fall season, yep. I can't wait until it's like fully fall season. Fall weather, sweater weather. It's my favorite. I'm not actually the most comfortable in like summer clothes. I have discovered I really love wearing maxi dresses though, like sundresses, maxi dresses. I'm like, I dig that. I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, so I've started to collect maxi dresses and sundresses over the years so that when it gets to the summer weather, oh God, okay, sorry. I just had another kind of back pain thing going on. But yeah, like, oh God, it's like in the summer, like what I'm hoping is to over time develop this kind of like summer season, what's the word? Summer season wardrobe, where it's just all dresses. I wear shorts underneath so I don't get chafing, but like, yeah, it's nice. You get to feel elegant, It's nice. Carulus, did I say your name correctly? Welcome to the chat. How are you? September means music ensembles are starting up again. Wonderful. I'm guessing you are part of a music ensemble. Can you let us know what music ensemble you are a part of? Ben, hello, welcome back. Working again after not working for 2.5 years. Just sat down to play some notes. Wow, what an adjustment. That's crazy. Are you adjusting okay? Make sure to be kind to yourself, all right? Like, it can take some time, I think, to work up the stamina to work. It sounds like you're going back working full time after not working for 2.5 years. So if I may give you some free advice, this is completely free advice, completely unsolicited, but don't feel guilty for saying no to some social events if you pull down on your social events and going out and stuff, so that you put like literally schedule and put aside some time for yourself to just relax at home, it can make a huge difference in your like keeping up your stamina. So I just I hear you on that, because a lot of my life in the last few years, you know, caregiving for John and stuff like that, I definitely noticed that for me, I had to, like every time I came back to do more work consistently after like, you know, maybe a few months of not working consistently, just that switch into kind of work brain and work stamina is really hard actually. So like, I found that if I really scheduled in some time just for me, that really helped. So, yeah, right, Ben? Yeah. So like, I'll be the like, yes, be gentle with self-time. Exactly. Like, let me be your random outside of your life voice that validates the fact that you need some time to yourself, and like it's okay to say no to things. It's okay to be like, huh, I need some time to recharge, you know, and just be like, folks, I'll see you at the next get together, but this time I really need some time to recharge, you know. I think, you know, if we're honest with everyone, that like people get it. So, hey John, how are you? So let's see. Oh, you have those rice bags, Deanna. You're right. I should probably. I have one of those heat cold packs, the ones that you can either freeze or you can like put it in boiling water and like heat it up. That's a really good idea. It's so weird because like this, it's not the amount of pain that I'm like, okay, I should take like an Advil to like make this go away. I don't know if Advil is going to make this kind of pain go away. This is actually very new to me. Like I've never had this exact feeling that I'm having right now, the like feeling of constant shiver plus like that low kind of achy grinding feel. It's weird. This is a new symptom for me. But Deanna, thank you so much for validating me, because I'm like, what the hell is happening to me? Okay, so Kerulis, you are starting up concert band, orchestra, and flute choir. Oh my God, did you get your music yet? What are you playing? Do you know what you're playing? Yes. September 1st is when Harry Potter goes back to school, goes back to Hogwarts. That's true. That's true. Wonderful. Okay, so Duck, you had your first audition in your life back in May for the Portland Youth Wind Ensemble, and you got in, and you're starting tomorrow, Duck. Congratulations. Can we get some exclamation mark congrats at Duck? Get KKKKK. How many K's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, exclamation mark congrats at Duck with 6 K's in the chat. Let's get some congratulations in there. That is fantastic, man. Do you know what music you're playing? Because we would also love to just nerd out with you. That's amazing. So Ben, it's a different job, so it's a level of chaos, but much less stressful than your old gig. That's nice. I do think that is really nice to like go back to a job, like go to a job, like restart a job, but have it not be as stressful as your last one. That's really good. That's really great. Nicholas, so many times in grad school you said no to social hangouts with friends. Yeah, it's not to say that you should say no all the time, okay? That is not good either. So you want to kind of strike that fine balance, right? Like you do need to say yes sometimes. But if you can feel you're reaching your limit, you absolutely need to say no. And I find that if you are very open about the truth of why you're saying no, like don't come up with like some stupid other reason, like something broke in your house or something like that, okay? No. You can literally just tell people, hey, I love you, but I need to hide. You can even say it like that. People get it. So I said this at um, the Inner Harmony music festival that I taught in a couple years back in Italy. Because, you know, we're living together 24/7 for 2 weeks. You know, it can get a lot. And the nice thing is that over there, there is this culture of afternoon siestas, right? So during afternoon siestas, um, sometimes some students wanted to meet up with me, you know, to chat and talk. And I was very, very like flattered that students were, um, you know, wanted to seek me out during like siesta, right? Like that is a very high honor, I think. But I could tell that I was like, I'm sorry, I will meet with you after, but I really need to hide. And like as soon as I used the word hide, it was like their faces had this like they lit up and they had this like look of understand like no, I get it. I need to hide too. You know? And so after I did it enough times, um, you know, we would pass each other in the hotel hallways because we're all literally like living in rooms next to each other, and we're just like, bye, enjoy your hide. And we just like happily wish each other lovely hides. And then we like meet up for dinner afterwards, you know, like it's really nice. I have to say, like if you can be brave and open up your own mouth and say, I love you, but I need to hide. I'll see you afterwards. You know, people get it. People absolutely get it. So, oh, yeah. So Deanna, stretching does help you out a little, but that constant pain. I know it's the this constant thing is weird, bro. It's weird. Like this is new to me. I can tell my body is aging and changing. Um, this is weird. I don't like this. I don't want this to be my new normal for periods, but it's not like I have a choice. I'm gonna see what happens next time. Cats and cows. I should do that, Carolus. Thank you for reminding me. Cause right now my brain is like that. Like I cannot think of what's gonna help me. Oh God! Just so you guys know, John has been amazing. What a freaking angel. Okay, he like this weekend he did so much cooking. He made brownies for me and like has been making coffee for me. Like you know, just trying to keep me as distracted as possible and as comfortable as possible. Even while he is flaring, he's actually kind of going through a mini flare right now too. So, angel. He made mapo tofu for me, but with beef too. Like, just this man's amazing. Um, you know, I just wanted to put that out there that I am being taken care of. But this sucks. This really sucks. Oh, okay. So, John, your first little theater meeting for 2026 is next Monday. Wonderful. This really is the time for all the production things and ensembles to start up. This is so great, guys. And you're working on that article about London's famous Highgate Cemetery as well. Wonderful, John. When you're done that article, send that to me. Okay. So flute-wise, John, you're working on Amazing Grace with bass flute. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's. Have you played that for me on bass flute yet? I don't know if you have. I don't know if you guys know, but John here is one of my students. I feel like you did a while ago. Man, but like I feel like yeah, Amazing Grace, in my opinion, works the best out of all the like auxiliary flutes out there. Bass flute, for sure. All right. So Duck, you'll let us know what you guys are playing in your wind, right? Wind Symphony, right? Portland Wind Symphony, Portland Youth Wind Ensemble. There we go. Let us know next week. Yes, come back next week and let us know. Wonderful. Ah, Nicholas. So before you used to say yes to everything, but you finally started saying no in grad school and felt so much better. Oh my God. I hear you. I hear you. At one point I said yes to so many things one time when I was, back home visiting in Vancouver. I literally got sick. Like I started just coming down with a horrible cold, turned into a horrible cough. Like I said no. I didn't say no to anyone. So I was just constantly going out and seeing people. And this was me on like a little mini vacation. And I saw so many people. I ran myself so far into the ground. I just got straight up sick. Charlie, you're in the process of learning Sonata by Hindemith. Do I have any advice? Oh, I love that sonata. That one, right? Love that one. What I can tell you is that please don't play it like it's French. It is not French. It's German, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm like kind of like not fully here because period. But like, so if I say anything incorrect, please just correct me in the chat. So Charlie, think grittier. A little bit more of that German angst. Okay. And it makes way more sense if you think of it that way. Okay. Like the way that I've described how the Hindemith sonata like really works is like if you imagine it being played by sort of like a really gritty viola or like a very gritty cello, don't try and sing through it like coloratura. No, don't do that. Okay, it doesn't work. But if you think like gritty, low string vibes, that's what it is. So I hope that helps, Charlie. And please enjoy it so much. I freaking love it. That second movement is like, it's like creepy violin is kind of how you want to think of it. If you think of it that way, oh, it is so fun to play. Oh, it's so great. And at the very end, I had a great experience with a student who was just like, Joanna, like, I'm trying, but I cannot like this piece. Like, I hate the march at the very end. Like, I hate this. And I was like, what's so wrong with that? Hate is a valid feeling. You are allowed to hate this. So, actually, can you play it validating your hate for it? Like play it like you hate it. Like hate it like you mean it, okay? And then as soon as I like gave this allowance to my student to hate the march, they played it perfectly. Perfect expression, nailed every note. Just like honestly, one of the best performances I've ever heard of the march, and it was over Google Meet. Like it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. It may have been FaceTime at the time. It may have been early enough that I was actually still doing it on FaceTime sometimes. But it was, yeah, just over video chat, legit one of the most amazing performances of the march that I've ever heard was this guy just hating it. Just fully like put 100% of his soul into hating it, and it sounded amazing. So there you go. That's my story of teaching the Hindemith sonata. Neko Drummer, hello. You're new. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing? So question for me is, do I think it's more valuable to be versatile across different music genres or to grind just one to master it? I think it depends on the person, and I truly mean it. I'm not just being wishy-washy, okay? I'm not being wishy-washy with my answer. Every person is different. Now, some people are like amazing at just doing every genre possible. Okay, there are people like this, insane, wonderful, versatile, flexible. They can pretty much take any gig, that comes their way. However, other people are miserable doing every genre in the world. Like, you can tell that they light up, they're more passionate, they do their work much better if they just focus in on one thing, right? So it's, in the end, what makes you more passionate, what makes you more like fulfilled, okay? Because that feeling of passion and fulfillment absolutely leaks through the quality of your work. The quality of your work will absolutely reflect if you feel fulfilled and like happy and content with what you're doing. If you don't feel content, it leaks out. Your productivity will go down, and also the quality of your work will have this kind of bitterness in it. It's kind of off-putting, like as the consumer of that product. It is a little bit off-putting. You can kind of tell when someone's miserable. So yeah, I'm actually not being wishy-washy about that, Neko. That like truly it depends on the person. What makes you happy, right? So like what I would say is that when you're young and you have, essentially you have the excuse of being young, it is a really good time to try everything, try things, to see how you respond to it, learn about yourself. What kind of person are you? Are you the type of person who wants to dabble in, as many genres as possible? Does that make you happy? Does that make you fulfilled? Or are you just freaking miserable when you are not doing the thing that you actually want to do? So that's something that you can figure out about yourself when you're young. But yeah, that is my answer to that. That's a good question, Neko. That's a very good question. Yeah. Yeah, Deanna, you're a bit ahead of me on that racetrack of life, so if I need a wine, hit you up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. Hindemith is German. Thank you, Nicholas, for confirming. My brain is not fully here. My goodness. Okay, so John, you did play Amazing Grace for me on bass flute a few years back. No wonder I feel like it's been a while. But yeah, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I know I found my person because John is, if anyone knows pain, it's John. John knows pain. I think he's one of the few men in my life who truly understands true pain and suffering. Like, I would go as far as to say that his level of suffering and pain far exceeds my worst period pain symptoms. Far worse. So yeah, like if there's a guy who could, make it through like a period pain simulator without screeching, it's probably John. Yeah. Ben, lately doing scales in 7/8 as it's kind of flowy. Ooh, how are you feeling it? Are you doing like 3 2 2, like 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2, or are you doing it like 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2, or are you mixing it up? Because you can also you can do all sorts of things. Like you can do the 2 that I just mentioned. You can also do 1 2 1 2 3 1 2, and that one is really trippy. Because every time you restart a bar, you're kind of repeating a 1 2. So it's 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2. So like it's really fun to kind of swap things up, see what works for you. Hey Sean, how are you? If you're tuning in, you probably can tell from the title that the practicing is not happening today. Oh. Well, Michael, I'm going to turn the question right back at you. Did someone tell you that you're not good enough at the flute? Is that why you're asking? Or did you hear that this happened to someone else and you're wondering, like, where is this question coming from? Chatting is good too. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Because I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah. Ooh, yep, there it goes again. Yep, got that. This is really weird for me to feel this on the third day. This is really weird for me. I normally never feel this on the third day. Usually third day, I'm like scot-free, totally fine. So even by yesterday, I was like, okay, tomorrow's my third day, gonna be right back on track with work, and like things are gonna be grand. And I'm just like, holy crap, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So Ben, with Middle Eastern drum, the 7/8 is usually 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. Okay, I like it. There is a joke that musicians can only count to 3 because we even count 4s as 2 groups of 2. You can always boil everything down to counting either up to 2 or up to 3. Michael, you've been told that before? Michael, okay. I think that's probably the real question then. All right. So I'm going to address that part. When people tell you that you're not good enough at the flute, it's because they are thinking of a very specific thing that maybe happened to them or that someone told them that is a measure of what it means to be good. Okay. And so a lot of times these people are like, they may have been told by their teachers or, people better than them that like, oh, you have to win competitions to be officially recognized as good. And, you need to be able to win auditions, get into music school, get into orchestras, get a really high chair, that for that to be recognized as you being good. But I think what no one addresses is, what is the point of being good? That is the part that I'm personally bothered by when people make these judgment calls randomly out of the blue, where they're like, oh, you're not good enough, And it's like, why does it matter to you, honey? The way I play, let's be real, no one's thinking about it. No one cares. Like in real life, these same people who are telling you that you're not good enough, they're not thinking about you on their day-to-day, right? So usually, in my experience, what this is actually projection. And projection is when someone feels a certain way and they feel it so much inside of them, it becomes their world. And because like this feeling that they feel has become their world, without realizing it, they apply this same feeling to other people. They think that because they feel this way and this is their world, that other people must also feel this way because they're like, this is just how the world works, right? That's called projection, okay? So like when someone tells you you're not good enough, I can tell you that 99% of the time, you can be swapped out with someone else entirely and they would say the same thing. They're not actually talking to you. Like a lot of times when people say these kinds of bullying things, they don't actually care about you. They don't actually care, like even if you got really good. They just wouldn't talk to you anymore because essentially their projection no longer applies to you. So like you wouldn't get the like satisfaction of proving them wrong because they're not even actually truly talking to you. They're so wrapped up in their own insecurity. So back to your question, what do you do when someone says you're not good enough? Honestly, I know this sounds like, turning the other cheek for them to slap, but with my reasoning, like this is how I see it, that you could swap out with someone else entirely and they'd say the same thing, okay? Because they're projecting. They're not actually truly actually talking to you. Like they're so wrapped up in their insecurity that they've projected it on you now and they're talking to that, right? So because of that, just nod and smile. You just nod and smile and you're like, cool. What do you think I can do to improve? Right? You turn it back on them, right? If they're going to project their insecurities on you and tell you you're bad, make them do the work to make you better. Ask them, what should I do? Like, what do you think will make me better? Let's be nerds. Let's figure this out together, you know? And whenever you do that, because this is kind of your sort of like heaping coals on people's heads. Like, you know that saying where it's like, you know, you be kind to people and that heaps coals on their heads because they're not expecting, they're trying to get a reaction out of you. They're trying to make you defensive, right? So instead, if you nod and smile and you're like, great, well, what do you think I should do to get better? You know, you never know. You never know how that conversation is going to go. Sometimes they get defensive and then they just kind of like, you know, storm away. But then sometimes they realize that they're being silly. And sometimes you just make a friend that way, you know? Kind of enemies to friends sort of trope, you know? So I hope that answers your question, Michael. And I'm really sorry that you had to go through that. I think it sucks when you go through something like that. But just know that I personally, you know, in my experience of people having the balls to say that to someone else, like literally just going up to them and saying that you're not good enough, I'm always like, oh, honey, if you can say that to someone's face and not feel bad about it, it's probably because you're so wrapped up in your own insecurity. You have no idea how you're coming across to other people. Like, that is a sad, sad existence. You know? Yeah. So, Michael, I hope that that is comforting to you and gives you, you know, a way to approach it in a way that is mature and also empathetic. That you are also being, yes, they're being mean to you, but it doesn't mean that you can't be empathetic, that you can still feel with them, okay? So, oh, Ben, that's very cool. Middle Eastern tradition, they learn the rhythms, corresponding sounds, so it sings sort of like corresponding vocal sounds to be clear. Oh, I like that. Da tikita. Oh, I like that. Okay, so Charlie, you have another question. How can you make runs sound more clear on the flute? So there's two parts to it. One is it's the two exact things, which is why I'm not practicing today. So the first thing is you want to make sure that you're really supporting your air, that you're using your lower core muscles to kind of like guide your flow of air. You don't ever want to feel like you're kind of like choking it out from your throat, you know, something like that. So guide your air, keep the air flowing as you are moving through notes. So just because you're moving your fingers, it doesn't mean that you're choking your air. Okay, so keep that air flowing. And then the other thing is keep your fingers really close to the keys. So like when you're lifting up, memorize your technique exercise. Usually they're very repetitive, so they're pretty easy to memorize. And then you want to stand in front of a mirror and watch yourself play. You will be very surprised. You'll be like, I had no idea that finger was coming up so high, right? So you want to make sure that all your fingers are only coming up about 2 to 3 millimeters off of the key. That is as high as they should go. Now, clearly you will see, you know, professionals, you know, when they're playing very like expressive, slower music, you'll see their fingers kind of come up for like expressive kind of, you know, purposes. But you will notice that once they start playing really fast passages, suddenly their fingers are all really close to the keys. So I just kind of wanted to be a little bit more realistic there. Like to be completely honest, as professionals, we do kind of like let our fingers kind of wander a little bit if we're playing slower music, but when we're playing fast music, keep it close to the keys. So, but you have to have both. You have to have the breath being flowy enough, but then also your fingers need to be like close to the keys. Yeah. So, Steve, don't call yourself an idiot dabbler saxophonist. No. You're in good company. There are a lot of people here who play, who are doublers, triplers, etc. So, Steve, welcome. Hope you're doing really well. And we absolutely invite you into the fold as a fellow flutist. So yeah, if you play the flute, you are a flutist. That's it. There's no, again, okay, we don't care here. In this corner of the internet, all right, if you play the flute, you're a flutist. End of story, okay? Like, you don't need to prove yourself. There ain't nothing to prove, okay? Just, honestly, you don't even need to play the flute, okay? If you want to join us on this little corner of the internet where we're just chill, okay? You can be an honorary flutist. Totally fine. We don't care. Again, you have nothing to prove, all right? We're just here for a good time. That's it. Hey, Brenda, how are you? See, thank you, Sean, for agreeing. The fundamental truth, nobody actually cares. Exactly. Neko had a good question. Why does orchestral counting feel so tricky and uneven compared to just locking in with a metronome or steady groove? And this is because of expression. So what you want to do is watch your conductor, and you can kind of tell from their movements, they'll sort of telegraph like how fast they want to go into something, right? So if they're going like this, okay, you know, and they're going like this, then, you know, you want to feel like the beats are very broad and luxurious, you know, but then when they go, you know, like you can really see that, you know, like that energy, then you can be like, okay, yeah, like now we're going to go faster or something like that. So you always want to keep an eye on your conductor and read their body language, actually. So, but it is expression that, like, in real life, nobody keeps the time perfectly. I don't think that I can tell you guys the exact concert for this, but I was playing in a concert where in rehearsal we were playing this particular movement just fine, fast but just fine. Then when we got to the concert, the conductor, being human, got so carried away with adrenaline that they ended up taking it, not even joking, 50% faster. It was ridiculous. Yeah, we did our best to keep up, but and this has happened more than once, actually. So I don't even have to, you know, like pinpoint the exact, you know, concert that this happened in, but this has happened several times to me. So like, really at the bottom of it, the orchestral counting feels tricky and uneven because it's human. So you're much better off watching your conductor and reading body language and not being such a stickler for how fast or how slow they're going, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, Deanna, I love the way that you said that. You've come to understand that the ones that go around popping everyone's happy bubbles are the ones that have happy bubbles popped all the time. Misery loves company. Yep. It's almost like they don't know how to function in any other way, which is a really, really sad way to live, right? Like, learning that you're like that takes an insane amount of self-awareness, and very likely, probably, you might need professional like counseling and therapy to become aware that you're like that. So unfortunately for a lot of these people, there's just no awareness that they're even doing it, and they're wondering why they're miserable all the time. because it's such a staple part of how they view the world that they don't even realize that it's something that they can change. You know, that it's behavior that they can change. Like, it's honestly, it's really sad. Which is why I say, even if you think you don't need therapy, it's really great to go get some therapy. As someone who's been in therapy for a grand total of a year. Not that I can really, like, you know what I mean, like, be an expert on what it's like to have had therapy for several years or anything like that, but I can say that going to therapy really does help you become aware of things in your life that you just had no idea is having a huge impact on you, you know? Hey, Viracosin, how are you? I'm on my period and I'm very slightly suffering right now. And I actually mean that. I'm like slightly suffering. But that's why I'm not practicing. Oh, Steve, you're welcome. You're welcome. We're so happy to have you here. Negative people and things are all around, unfortunately. Very true. Very true. Like, it does take a certain level of strength to choose to be the positive one, you know, in your own circle, but it's very rewarding because, I don't know, I feel like life is a lot lighter, you know, if you don't take it so seriously, and also if you just kind of have that empathy for people around you, like, even if they're being bullies, to be like, I wonder why they're being bullies, or like, wonder if something happened to them that is like modeling this poor behavior for them and they don't even realize it, you know? So, hyper caffeinated conductors sounds dangerous. Yeah. Yeah. I've had this experience several times. It's not caffeinated, it absolutely is just adrenaline. Like, that concert adrenaline is something else. People, like, I get it. Like, having heard that people get addicted to it, I get it. It's like a drug. It absolutely feels like a drug. You know. Viracosin is asking, does a Peruvian bamboo pan flute count? Does it count as a flute and thus make you a flutist? Absolutely, yes. Yes, it does. I think we would be doing such a disservice to, you know, anything that remotely plays like a flute, but, you know, in not calling them a flute. Like, you know. And Brenda, thank you for the hug. I appreciate it. I'm experiencing some new symptoms right now. You know, I definitely feel it's kind of like it's an aging thing. I'm, you know, okay, anybody with the parts that would, you know, that require a uterus and stuff like that, would understand what I mean. Your symptoms change as you age. This one is a new one that I haven't experienced before, and it's like my body is like slightly freaking out right now and doesn't really know what to do with it. Like, I'm not in pain. Again, for anyone who's just joining, I'm not in pain, but I'm in like this weird state of like feeling like I'm, like, Deanna actually pinned it right on the head earlier in this stream. I didn't even know how to explain it, and Deanna knew. Deanna was like, it's like you're constantly shivering, plus this kind of low grind feel. Like, it's like your muscles just like cannot unflex, and then your whole body is doing this kind of like crazy, like very slight constant shiver. Maturation process. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, so it's okay, guys. The pain was in the last 2 days. The symptoms I'm experiencing today, I'm like, I'm not in pain, but the symptoms are weird enough that I'm like, I cannot have a productive practice session today. It ain't happening. I can tell just from how I feel that if I try practicing, absolutely nothing I do today is going to be useful. Hi, Frank. How are you? I hope you're doing better than me. So it's an AMA stream now. It absolutely is an AMA stream now. And I'm all for it because I need the distractions so badly right now. Ask me almost anything. Is that what the AMA is? So, Duck, you were obsessed with box polonaise and badinnery. Oh, that's a good pairing because you were using that for your audition. You're in 7th grade, but it was a very big struggle for you. I mean, they're hard. And like, there's a lot going on. Also, Duck, if you haven't tried playing the rest of that orchestral suite, you really should. It's a really great little suite. It's actually available on flutetunes.com. So just look up Bach Orchestral Suite number 2, and you should find it. It's the one that has the polonaise and the badinnery at the very end. But yeah, if you haven't just played through or studied, if you want to, the rest of it, so worth your while. Yeah. And now you're obsessed with the l'Arlésienne Suite number 2. That's such a good one. It's so pretty. I studied that flute solo in there, yeah, when I was really little. I think I was maybe 9 or 10. 10 maybe? I think 10. No. I think I was 9. Because I think I studied it before I studied a different piece that I used to audition into my local youth orchestra. And I remember it being a really big deal for my then, 16-year-old, 17-year-old teacher. Because I think I remember her mentioning that it's, unusual for a person who's single digit birthday, 9 years old. I was about to turn 10, but I was still 9 at the time that I auditioned. And she was saying that it was unusual for a kid that was, like single digit age auditioning. So yeah, I think I studied it when I was like 9. Yeah. Can we talk breath though? Yes, we can, Steve. What's your question about breath? From what I can understand, since you play the saxophone, I think a lot of the breathing is actually very similar. But what's your question? Breathing exercises. I mean, I was going to do one today, which like I cannot. Oh God, my brain. I cannot recommend more. Della Sonorite by Marcel Moïse. Yeah, I think the real kicker for me was, I believe it's page 10 of Della Sonorite, where he gets you to do like very slow crescendos and decrescendos, because that really forces you to understand how much air you're actually expelling at any given point in your breath, and also like how fast are you growing your dynamic, and also how slow are you, dissipating, that kind of thing. Yeah, page 10. It's fantastic. Like, I noticed after having completed all of those exercises that that really kicked my breathing efficiency into gear. So, Frank, La Mer this weekend. Amazing. And you also sent your flute off for servicing today, and you're feeling odd. You have to practice on your old flute. Oh, we all feel that way. Oh, we all do. We understand. But it's great that you have your old flute on you, so that you do have something to practice on. Your lessons teacher is recommending you a similar exercise. There you go, Viracosin. Like, I think every flute teacher knows that it's some sort of, essentially, it's less about breath control and more about breathing efficiency. It's like, are you wasting all of your air in the beginning of your exhale? Learning to, die down very, very slowly, just having that control, it's efficiency more so. I think a lot of people think of, like, me, especially blowing into the flute, as something like, you have to take in a ton of air in order to expel a ton of air. It's actually more about how efficiently are you using the exhale? At least that's what I find, at least. So Clark Terry, the late great trumpeter, talks about support as the sound post, the thing that enables a string instrument to vibrate. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because without our support, you're essentially just kind of blowing air that doesn't have kind of backing to it, if that makes sense. So like the difference that a person sounds when they're playing any sort of wind or brass instrument without support, so if they're just going into it, it's going to sound weak. They're also going to have way less control over how fast the airspeed, or like, you know, that they want to play in. So that will result in them cracking a lot of the time, cracking high or low, because it's really hard for them to, again, to just control the speed of the air, like the consistency and the speed of the air. You know, there isn't a lot of that kind of like the richness in the sound. The richness is lost completely. So it's just very kind of surface sort of sound, if that makes sense. But then when you do play with core support, you have your lower core. You know, one thing that I realized about myself in the last several years was that I didn't realize that my anterior pelvic tilt was actually preventing me from even accessing the correct muscles to do a proper breath support. So if you do have an anterior pelvic tilt, I do highly recommend that you at the very least go on YouTube, look up a few videos, a few different explanations, just to see which explanation might sort of like jive with you a bit better. Some people have found blog posts to be better for this. I don't care. Go look on the internet for an explanation that clicks for you, okay? We all process information differently, all right? So what one blog or video works for one person may not work for another. But regardless, if you look a little bit more into anterior pelvic tilt, and if you have it, highly recommend that you correct it. And then once you correct it, you will have access to those lower core muscles that you can flex. And that will kind of create sort of this like support and backing for your air to kind of sit on top of, and sort of be like, it's kind of like those old timey bellows, you know, the ones that you like, you expand so that it sucks in a bunch of air, and then you contract it and it blows out a ton of air so that you can get your fire going and stuff like that. So like if you think of yourself like a bellows, where the bellows part, the part that expands, is like your lower core area. That's really what's happening, is that like if you think about like squishing that bellows like this, and you're putting a lot of kind of like force down here, it's shooting the air up for you, right? And the more down here expands, you'll have more air to push on in order to keep that air going out of the bellows, right? Like if this part that expanded was really short, you know, and it only like went out a little bit, and then you kind of went like this, you can see how that there's just not a lot of air underneath that, you know, the puff of air that you want to keep going. If you want your puff of air to keep going for a long time, you want that bellows to be huge. And then, right, and then you have a ton of air underneath you. So that's why, first off, locating the correct muscles is really important. If you need to correct your pelvic tilt, do so. Otherwise, you can't even access the correct muscles in order to do this. And then two, that's like just the whole bellows kind of like idea is the reason why support is so important. Because if you can't expand low and then really kind of like push it from underneath, you don't have any air underneath you to keep that air going. So yeah. Some flautists don't like the hard belly approach. It's hard to explain, because for me, it doesn't really feel like just a hard belly. I'm not just flexing the muscle just to flex the muscle. I'm actually kind of like, so if this is my lower core, like this is my back, and this is my lower core, I'm flexing it outward so that it sucks air in. So you can actually feel it if you go, you can actually kind of feel that the action of bringing your muscles outward, like flexing them outward, kind of sucks air in for you. And then I kind of very slowly grind against it. So my thought process on some flutists not liking the hard belly approach, I have some suspicions that it could be some pelvic tilt things, because I know that for me, the hard belly approach absolutely didn't work on me, and I didn't understand what it even meant to flex your core until I fixed my pelvic tilt. So, and a lot of people these days have pelvic tilts because, you know, we live in this kind of very sedentary lifestyle now. So, okay, enjoy your committee meeting, Frank. But yeah. Sean has a great way of putting it. Easy to get distracted by diaphragm talk, but try this. How long can you hold your breath without closing your throat or your mouth? When you figure out how to do that, you found the muscles. Yeah. And you, like, for a long time, I had trouble doing exactly that because I wasn't accessing the correct muscles because of my pelvic tilt. I definitely could do it way better now, like just kind of, yeah, I can do it way, way better now that I have corrected my pelvic tilt. So, yeah. Oh my God, Frank, you passed the kidney stone while playing an ice show. Oh God, that sounds horrible. Oh, that's so terrible. Varicose on a tangent, but you got an FCNY pen? Amazing. I have a few back there too. So Brenda, speaking of old flute, how often should we play our backups? Just whenever. Because they're metal, they kind of, you know, you don't have to keep them broken in, if that makes sense. From what I understand of like wooden flutes especially, it's like you kind of have to keep them broken in. But for a metal flute, not so much. Although some parts of it will deteriorate on its own, just from time, really. So like every now and then when you notice things are kind of starting to get a little out of sorts with your old flute, then you can kind of bring it in for a quick tune-up, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So, it's your favorite pen, Varicose. Aww. Yes, exactly as Sean said. Even the backup needs the occasional COA. Exactly. And when we say occasional, we do actually mean occasional. Like, we're talking every few years. You know, maybe like, I don't know, 3 to 5 years, something like that. Like, I think it's good to at least get it looked at, you know? I can feel it. I can absolutely feel it. Like, if I'm playing on an old flute and it hasn't had a COA, I can absolutely tell. Like, some of the keys are a little bit rickety, and like you can tell there's a few leaks here in there, and you know, yada yada yada, all that stuff. So, oh, I stand corrected. I learned something from Nicholas Harris. He's been told by text that it's best to play your backup or second flute at least once a week so the pads are interacting with the air. That makes a ton of sense. Maybe that's why I can feel leaks and stuff like that, like after I haven't played them in a while. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, not just sitting in its case. Oh. I stand corrected. Thank you so much for teaching me. That sounds, you know, actually that's great, because then that gives me an excuse to bring out my backup flute. I like that. This is awesome. So if you wait too long, even without playing on it, Sean is saying, the oils dry out and you can get rust spots on the steels. Try not to go more than about 2 years. Okay, at least I don't go more than 2 years without playing. That's good. That's good to know. Okay, good. Wow. Okay, I took a look at the time I'm kind of gauging how I'm feeling right now, and I think now is a good time for me to hop off. Yeah, again, I don't know if I have the capability to like focus on getting any real work done right now, but um, hopefully I am back to kind of my normal feeling tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, I should have plenty of time to work on the things that I want to work on tomorrow. And then I will see you guys again on Thursday. So Thursday we'll have a real practice session. Um, Same time, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. And then right afterwards, we're going to do a review. So I will update that tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to update it today, but I do have the flutes just off camera. They have arrived from the Flute Center. Let me just check really quickly if I might know. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So, actually, can I get a quick, I'm going to turn off this poll and I'm going to put up a new poll. I want to know what you guys want to see first. So what do you guys want to see this week? And we'll do the other one the next week. So the first one is, it's a Meteki. I think it's a 14K Meteki plus, I think it's like an 18K Muramatsu. Let me look it up really quick. All right, let's see. There we go. Okay. Yeah, 18K. Yep, I'm right. So 14K Meteki compared against my very old, very much needs a CO, not just a COA, a full-on overhaul solid silver Meteki. And then an 18K Muramatsu that was at at NFA that I found very interesting. So I wanted to kind of like look at those two. Or these are the ones I'm really, really excited for. They're two Flute Masters flutes. And these ones are silver head joint, silver plated body. Yeah. So silver head joint, silver plated. Oops. Silver head joints. You guys know. I'm just going to do that. Okay. I put the poll up. If you guys can just answer this poll before we end the stream, I would like to know what you guys want to see this week. Because then I can just make that decision this week. And then whatever we don't look at this week, we'll do next week. Cool. Okay. Steve, thank you so much. I will feel better because it's predictable. Well, should have been predictable. I mean, this will end soon, in a few days. Yeah. I just answered your question about like comparing against my Meteki. Hey, you're Kosin, you're taking AP US history? My brother took that. He called it A push all the time. It is going to be fun. Wow, you guys are actually going 50-50 with this. Are there any other people to break the tie here? That's why you can't make so many streams. That's fine, Virkosin. That's, I mean, legit, this is why I leave the streams up forever. So you guys can enjoy it whenever you want. This is how I enjoy actually a bunch of other content creators. You know, they will have 3-4 hour long streams too, but you know, John and I will just watch them like, you know, an hour here and there, maybe half an hour here and there while we're eating or something. So I wanted to do the same thing for you guys, just give you guys a lot of like, you know, a lot of content just to kind of like veg with, you know, on your downtime. So that's why I show up to these. Wow, it's still 50-50. My goodness. Oh, you guys, I thought this was going to be an easy pull. I'm calling on the lurkers now. I can see there's a few more. So you don't have to say anything in chat, but can you just open up the poll and vote on what you would want to see on Thursday? Let me know. Yeah. Oh man, today is just such a, I was so looking forward to like having a really productive day today, and it's just like, wow, that's not happening. Are we just going to do it all? Are we just going to like review all of them? I really didn't want to, because I really wanted to just devote like a solid 2 to 3 hours on just like one of these. So yes, calling on the lurkers right now. Anyone who's just joining, can you please vote in the poll in the chat? Yeah. Yes, let's review it all. I find it really fun that you guys really like it when I do the crazy reviews. You know, the reviews where I just review like 5,000 things in a single live stream. I guess it is time to flip a coin. Okay, we're flipping a coin then. So are we saying Miteki and Miramatsu is heads and then Flute Masters is tails? Is that what it is? Is that what we're doing? Wait, someone broke it. Okay, we're ending the poll. Someone broke the you're the lurker. Okay, so we're going to do the Miteki and the Miramatsu on Thursday then, and then next week's stream we will do the 2 Flute Masters flutes. Oh, you broke the tie with Kenboy. Yeah. Okay. Woo. All right, I didn't have to flip a coin. Okay, so let's do Miteki and Miramatsu. That's gonna be super fun because I actually have not ever done a like proper review on a like, you know, a new. No, it's not new, but it's like refurbished and like COA'd. It's in good condition, not just good condition, but it's in great condition. Miteki. I have not actually done that before, so and the specs on that Miteki are very close to my my Brannon, so I get a peek into essentially like a rose gold version of my Miteki to see how that, like, I want to see if it's yet another kind of like parallel universe Joanna, you know. So that's gonna be really fun, and then the 18K Miramatsu is particularly interesting because it is, I believe, quite an older flute. And it is C foot, and it has a G to A trill. So it's almost like if you took the C sharp trill and you split it into 2 smaller trills. I believe that's what it is. I haven't opened it up yet, so don't take me at my word, but that was the flute that I requested. So, wait, Miteki means magic flute? Stop. I didn't know that. What? That's crazy. Yeah, exactly. So I've never tried a Miteki that, you know, is rose gold and is also overhauled. My poor Miteki needs some good TLC, but yeah. Okay. That is it for today. I will see you guys on Thursday when I likely will feel way better. Um, and then we'll get the show on the road and have a ton of fun. I am still working on the NFA vlog, and I was actually contemplating, and I'm gonna, I think, chat with you guys a little bit more about it on Thursday, but I've been considering how I want to kind of balance, making sort of like review kind of like shorter like review highlight videos with sort of more day-to-day things. I'm still kind of considering, and I was going to chat with you guys later about what you guys would want to see. So, yeah. But there you go. So, I'm going to go rest now. I can feel it. I need to go and sit on the couch because my back is not having it right now. So, I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. And I will see you guys on Thursday. And hopefully we all feel great. Okay. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and distracting me and helping me feel better. I can at least say that I sat down and streamed today. So thank you for making me feel not useless. I think that's the worst part about feeling the way I feel right now, is I feel insanely useless because I can't say that I'm in so much pain that it's debilitating. It's not debilitating, but it's enough to be like, I cannot concentrate on anything. So I love you guys. Thank you. I can feel all the virtual hugs and it's making me feel better. I will see you guys on Thursday. Stay happy, healthy, and safe because there is no music without the musician. And I hope that today I lived that truth. Bye, guys. Love you.